Hi, everyone. Mary Esther Gilbert here, nutritional physiologist, sports nutritionist, and nutritional healing specialist, researcher, writer, educator, author. In case you haven't been here before, welcome. And welcome to all the returning subscribers. Glad to have you here. Tonight, I am going to discuss more about why building muscle is so important for your optimal health, vibrancy, longevity, and a host of other health issues that you can totally avoid if you pay attention to developing your muscles and therefore developing your nervous system and your cardio, heart, respiratory capacity, lung capacity. So last night I just did a monthly Zoom call with a group of people that are associated with this wonderful company, and I'm actually their nutritional product consultant. And so we do educational videos every month. And so I got to thinking there was a question in there that I don't think we really addressed too thoroughly. We were always, every time we do these calls, we're pressed for time. But now I'd like to just kind of expand on that. You'll see it here on my channel. It's called the Athlete's Kit. But I want to talk more about why it's so important to have muscle mass. And I know that women have always wondered if they should take up weight training because they're afraid of building too much muscle. Well, first of all, we don't have the hormones for it. But the more you exercise with weights, of course, the more growth hormone you're going to produce, which is the youth hormone, and you will end up, with larger muscles. But that takes a lot of training, heavy progressive weight training over many, many months and years to develop that kind of muscle structure. So if you don't want to go to that extreme, that's perfectly fine, because there's still so many benefits to lifting weights. You get stronger bones, you get better connective tissue strength and tensile, stretchability in your tendons, avoiding injuries, especially if you participate in sports. And also, there's just the nervous system development, increasing the immune system. There's so many benefits. So you don't have to lift weights. You don't have to be a monster, weightlifter in order to get all the health benefits through weight training. So you want to continue producing younger cells, right, throughout your life. I'm going to be 70 this year, and I've been weight training since 1974. And I don't have any connective tissues or joint issue problems because being a nutritional physiologist and developing a food system that totally works for countless clients over the last 45 years, I've applied everything I have learned and developed my own system so that, just to see if it's really possible to advance in age and still have a youthfully functioning system, more youthful looking physique kind of thing. I don't have the monster 6-day split workouts that I used to do back in the 80s, but I still maintain a significant amount of lean muscle mass. And, I don't have osteoporosis, certainly not, and I have a great immune system. So all of these health benefits have proven to be true, all these claims through the years. So I still feel very, very great. And my clients who have actually participated in my system and implemented it have also seen many lifelong health benefits over the years. Okay. All right. So now what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about my book, actually. I'm going to screen share here. So in my book, one of my books that I've produced is called Eating for Physical Power and Stamina: How You Can Prevent Setbacks and Mental Burnout, Stay Youthfully Fit Through the Years, for Beginners to Serious Athletes. So through the years when I had my practice before I retired it about 13 years ago, I had it for about 30 years. And I saw clients, a lot of the clients were clients interested in losing weight. So, I taught them the difference between losing weight suddenly, where you lose a lot of water weight, you lose a lot of valuable muscle tissue, connective tissues, blood volume. When you're starving yourself, trying to lose weight, your body goes into this starvation mode. And so it slows down its metabolism and it conserves body fat. I mean, that's the last thing you want to do on a weight loss, attempt, right? So the real way to lose weight, I learned this in the bodybuilding world. Bodybuilders or serious weight trainers and athletes, they know how to hold on to their lean muscle mass that gives them the muscle power and strength and endurance versus just trying to diet themselves away, right? They don't want to lose their valuable, hard-earned muscle mass because muscles gives you power and energy. So this is why I put my weight loss clients on a weight training program. And also, I believe in a holistic approach to whole body fitness. So I always encourage flexibility and aerobic training to actually have enough energy to burn off body fat. So if you sustain your heart rate on a specific kind of activity for a specific amount of time, then your body will dip into the fat burning. So, there's a whole cycle that your body gets into called the adenosine triphosphate cycle, or it used to be called the Krebs cycle when I was in college. That was years ago. But so that is what allows the body to dip into its body fat stores without wearing down the muscles. And of course, every time you exercise, especially if you exercise for a sustained period of time, you're going to use up your body's resources and you are going to dip into some of the resources that are stored in the muscle fibers. However, to totally dip into the body fat burning cycle, you have to have that kind of aerobic exercise training effect. That's completely different than building muscle. That's an anaerobic effect where you have bursts of, short bursts of strength effort. So I just want to make sure that people aren't worried, ladies, especially you ladies, of building big, bulky muscles. That takes a lot of effort, torturous effort. I was one of them back in the 80s. But as you can see here on the cover of my book, now this is the manuscript. Of course, the book is on, just a soft cover, or you can buy an ebook. But back in the 80s, my gym buddies, they convinced me to compete in a bodybuilding contest. It was my first and last. I really didn't like paying so much attention to every detail. I just loved to work out and I loved to run and play sports. But here I am at age 30, and I will show you what I used to look like before I started weight training. I don't often show this to people, but here I am at age 20. And I was just a skinny little, pot-bellied weakling, 20-year-old. And then when I met my husband, he's passed away since then, God rest him. But he got me into weight training. And I said, I really wish I had a figure like so many other women do. And he said, well, just try weight training. And he showed me the fitness magazines and the bodybuilder, muscle fitness magazines. So I really took to it. I said, okay, I'll try it. And I just really loved it because immediately I started feeling stronger and I started looking better. I started developing curves in my body, and this isn't too much longer. This was maybe about 5 years later. I had already been weight training regularly. And so I developed curves, they were muscles, they were curves. And I reduced that pot belly thing and a lot of the fat that I had accumulated along the my arms and things like that. And I was very skinny. I wasn't genetically blessed with curvy legs. So when I started weight training, I noticed a complete change. And here I am at that bodybuilding contest where I had just learned how to lean out without losing muscle mass or strength or energy at the gym by doing both weight training and running. So I was burning the body fat off by running, but I had enough energy because I knew how to replenish myself between workouts nutritionally and hydrate properly. So this whole book that I am showing you here is all about how to go about doing that. And it works for weight loss. I mean, look at this. I had enough strength endurance to run 10Ks. And later on, in my 40s and 50s, I took up the martial arts. And little did I know that it was one of the most grueling street fighting types of martial arts. But I was totally ready for it because I had developed the mindset of working very hard to build those muscles. I mean, I was just able to fly up hills when I was running. I had such great endurance. But now in the martial arts, I was able to endure the grueling workouts, that's demanded of you in the martial arts. So our warm-ups were hard workouts, and we did the fitness kickboxing routines that were also challenging workouts, and the mental focus that comes with developing the nervous system and developing the mind-body mindset and connection, developing, your and having enough mental energy. Okay. So many athletes start out and they start developing joint issues. They have muscle tears. They have, problems with their bones and their feet or whatever. They get injured easily, and then they have trouble recuperating from their workouts. So, especially martial artists, we get slammed around a lot. And so, if you aren't ready for that kind of impact, if your body isn't strong and musculature, you can't take that kind of impact for very long. And so I was able to just get right through all of the challenging workouts of all these different sports activities. All right, so this is what I want to talk about. I want to encourage people to just truly go ahead and start a weight training routine and round it out by the fat burning routines. Okay. Let's see, where was I? Yes, I was on the book. Okay. All right. So fat burning routines would be elevating your heart rate and doing something like running or even walking. If you haven't exercised in a very long time, you can't start out like that. You can't endure those kinds of monster, extreme, efforts of working out. So just start out slowly and go as far as you want. If you start looking better and you have more energy and you don't have any aches and pains anymore, then, that's by eating right and nutritionally replenishing yourself between workouts. And if you don't do that, then you won't feel better. You'll start feeling terrible and you'll feel worse. You'll be more prone to injuries, kind of thing. So you've got to do it all right. This book will, of course, take you through everything and show you how to eat, how to time your meals, and of course, getting enough rest and making sure you're hydrating at the right times. So all that comes together to be successful in your fitness endeavor, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or more advanced, or an elite athlete. Okay, so I'm going to take you to my chapter 5. Okay, here's let's see. Whoops, went back again. I apologize. Okay, here's my chapter 5. All right, so building the body's efficiency and maintaining youthful functioning. So that means your body will produce more what's called growth hormone. So the older one gets and the less one exercises, the less growth hormone the body produces. So this is called the youth hormone. So when you start working out and you start putting it all together, then your body will be younger. Your cells will actually function just like a younger person's would. But as you get older, then, that's going to be more and more critical. So maintaining the lean muscle mass by weight training, even if it's a little bit, I mean, they put very elderly people on weight training programs and have their response was great. They got stronger and they had more energy and they were able to be more mobile. So a lot of great things have come with all these different scientific studies of helping people become younger and stronger. So you can actually reverse the aging process down to the cellular level or maintain a more youthful appearance far into advancing age. All right, so this is what I just wanted to point out here. So my book goes into a lot more detail, of course, but it will be a handbook that you can refer to throughout your whole fitness endeavor and just keep you young and healthy for an indefinite amount of time. All right. So you've got optimal nourishment for perpetual physical and mental energy. So you'll have the physical energy, and with the right replenishment and hydration and sleep cycles, then you will go back to, your workouts every time with more and more energy You'll have the mental energy, the mental desire to work out. If you've recuperated from every single exercise session properly, and you've given your muscles and your body a chance to recuperate and repair and regenerate itself to get stronger, then you will have the mental energy, the desire to work out. A lot of the gym attrition rates are because people don't know how to do that. And so they start dreading their workouts because they're physically not getting stronger, they're getting weaker. So that puts the body in a whole different hormonal state, right? And it affects the moods and the mindset. And there goes all of the intent to exercise, right? All the good intentions, especially around New Year's Eve, all these resolutions, they go by the wayside when they don't know how to do that. And also, you have to realize that this is how your body is built. We're built for physical labor. And when we don't continue on with some kind of physical labor, especially with the very purposeful weight training, working every single muscle group and improving its performance, then it won't do you any good if you don't keep up this kind of a workout routine. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry, folks. There's no shortcut. You can't get around it. So even if it's a minimal amount of exercise, it's a lot better than none because you're increasing your circulation, you're breathing deeper, you're dipping into, your body fat stores a little bit, and you're maintaining bone mass and muscle structure, and your nervous system, your hormones. All those things are being balanced, and so that makes a more energetic, more positive-minded person, and lack of health degeneration. So a lot of health issues start with the fact that the person's body, all their cells, and the organs that these cells are, compose the organs and all the different systems in the body, they start degenerating, and they won't maintain their youthful appearance. They'll be just degenerating further and further as time goes on. So that affects the circulatory system, not being able to deliver nutrients or oxygen to all the parts of the body. And this is all happening at the cell level. So this is why maintaining exercise in different kinds of exercise, like I said, weight training for strength and strength endurance, and sustaining the elevated heart rate for fat burning, and also the flexibility exercises, and then when you put all those three aspects of fitness together, you'll be much more capable of trying a different sport. If someone invites you to go water skiing or motorcycle riding, teaching you how to ride in the dirt, like my friends and family and I used to go dirt bike riding. I didn't know how to ride a bicycle, but I learned how to ride a dirt bike because I had the strength and endurance to put up with all the terrain, right? And all the balancing of the bike and all these things that you use, all these different muscle groups. So if you aren't in shape in all these different ways, I fell on the motorcycle before, and one time I was running on a hill that had slippery rocks on it, and I slipped and I did the splits on it. And the friend of mine that was with me said, "Did you see what she did?" Kind of thing. Thank goodness I had been practicing my flexibility exercises and my strength training and all that kind of thing for all these mishaps, that happened to me when I was out there trying different things. So yeah, this is so important. You never know when it's all going to come in handy and save you from injury, kind of thing. And like I said, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can start reversing that aging degenerative process at any age. And as long as you keep going, your body will just keep responding and responding, and it'll get better and better, because that's what growth hormone does, and a whole host of other hormones that the body produces when it's got that response to stimuli from exercise. All right, so yes, you want this energy. Why live life in a lessened state of energy, right? Okay, so the next section I wanted to talk a little bit about was how it protects your DNA. So our cells are always replicating, right? And our DNA is always, the mother cell is always transcribing that genetic code of instructions of how the body works to the newly forming cells. Our cells are always forming new cells. Our body's always forming new cells. And so exercise actually protects that kind of process where it's transcribing your genetic code from the mother cell to the newly forming cell, right? So exercise actually does stimulate this process. And of course, you have to be nourished properly. And this book will take you through the basic nutritional protocol that you need to follow. My other book, Nutritional Synergy, goes into the nutrition aspect of it much more in depth. So these two books really go hand in hand. Each one of them dabbles into a little bit of what the other one offers. But if you put them together, then you'll have a solid nutritional protocol to follow. And if you follow the guidelines in this book for building strength and endurance, then you will have everything you need to maintain your perpetual youthfulness. All right. So yeah, exercise protects against the genetic damage to the DNA. So it's going to maintain your DNA and keep it more stable so that there's less cell damage every time your cells want to replicate and get rid of the old cells, right? And cell turnover rate for every different area in the body varies, but this is going to help you maintain a higher quality of DNA. Okay, so it's all about the DNA. If your DNA is damaged, then it could lead to the degenerative disease process, or rapid aging, or any other kind of health problem. Okay, so yeah, it will protect your DNA from damage. And there's a thing called telomeres. Now, these are at the very end of the genetic code. And if these start shrinking over time, then the aging process sets in. So exercise, proper nourishment will help maintain these telomeres so that they are communicating with, the rest of your body, all the DNAs in every single one of our trillions of cells in the different body systems. They always communicate with each other. And if the telomeres start deteriorating, there'll be less and less communication, more and more cellular breakdowns, and therefore more rapid aging. And if you're exercising and you're not replenishing yourself as far as nourishment, then this will happen as well. A person can age more if they exercise and don't replenish properly nutritionally, or if they don't get enough rest, or if they don't replenish their body's water balance. Okay, so staying hydrated is important with purified spring water. All of the other types of beverages, they end up being dehydrating because of how the cells process the liquid, extract the liquid out of the drinks, but leave the residues for the kidneys to have to deal with. And that process actually causes dehydration. So the only way to truly hydrate is to drink purified spring water. All right, so then I talk about more of the telomeres. And then we've got epigenetic alterations. If you don't take care of your body, if you don't exercise, then you've got changes in the environment that can affect how your cells replicate, and also behavior, your lifestyle. If you have an unhealthy lifestyle, that's definitely going to affect how your cells replicate. And so it'll affect the quality of your DNA. All right, so then we've got the loss of proteostasis. So that's an impaired protein deficiency where your body just can't make new cells or new proteins. So our bodies, even though we're like 70, 80% water, depending on your age, we also consist of what vitamins and minerals circulating everywhere, right? And some fats and sugars, right, circulating. But the body is composed mostly of proteins other than water. So everything your body has, every cell structure, every body fluid, everything your body makes, like enzymes or signaling proteins or hormones, all of those things are proteins. So making sure you have the right quality protein in your diet, in addition to the other food groups, don't ever leave out a food group. Then you'll be able to protect your ability to continue to replicate and to regenerate every single type of protein in your body. So that's important too. So again, the weight training, the various types of exercises, hydration, and proper nutrition. Okay. So then, it'll affect the signaling pathways of your nervous system too. Your nervous system requires that kind of stimuli in order to keep everything going. And if you are becoming more and more sedentary, then your circulatory system will start bogging down, everything will become more stagnant, and so that includes all of your muscles and all of your nerves and everything. Your nervous system will not send signals to your brain and will not stimulate all these different hormones that the different glands that are actually in the brain, some of them are in the brain, to stimulate all these different hormones. So we don't want to mess with our brain's pituitary gland, especially. So this is where the growth hormone is released, and it just goes out throughout the body and stimulates the other organs and systems like the liver, the bone, the cartilage, muscle cells. All these aging controlling pathways will increase your longevity if you constantly nourish your body properly, and therefore your nervous system continues to communicate. All right, so then we've got the mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria is located inside of the cell. Typical cell, they're shaped differently depending on, the different body systems, like the nerve cells, they look more like trees, but a lot of cells in the body are pretty similar to this kind of configuration. But it's got all these different organelles, the protein manufacturing sites, packaging of proteins and releasing of proteins. You've got the DNA inside the cell nucleus, where all this information processing is going on and communication processing is going on. All this plasmic environment must be maintained through proper hydration, and the inflow of minerals inside and outside of the cell to stimulate all of these actions. The mitochondria's responsibility is to produce energy. So whether you are performing a quick burst of energy, like in a powerlifting move, or just jumping out of the way of, say, a car coming at you or something, just some quick muscle movement, the mitochondria produces the kind of energy that will allow your muscles to do that. The other kind of energy that the mitochondria produces is the fat burning stage, where your body will kick in from that the glucose or quick burst of energy type of fuel to the fat burning stage. So that's a transitional thing that happens when you elevate your heart rate. Say you get on the exercise bicycle or you go for a walk, your body will kick into the fat burning stage if you sustain a slightly elevated heart rate or a harder, elevated heart rate, depending on what your level of fitness is. So be careful, know what your maximum training heart rate is. But if you're just going for a walk and you're increasing your circulation, then you will kick into the fat burning stage, not as quickly and as readily as someone who starts doing vigorous aerobic workouts, but you will still go ahead and kick into the fat burning stage. So when you elevate your heart rate, like I said, you will kick into the fat burning, and the mitochondria that is responsible for that cycle, that energy of unit that it produces constantly from the fat stores, turning it into what's called the unit of energy called ATP, then it'll keep burning the fat, until you cease. And if you exercise regularly, your body will keep burning at a higher metabolic rate, maybe not at that training rate or that walking or running rate, but your body will keep up a certain amount of metabolic activity at a higher, faster rate, even when you're resting in between your workout sessions or when you're sleeping, or even if you're doing what's called active rest. If you are an athlete and you challenge your body, very hard all the time, then of course your metabolic rate is going to be a lot faster than someone who takes walks every day and lifts like weights. Okay, so walking isn't enough, weight training isn't enough, and flexibility exercises aren't enough. You've got to put them all together to help your body become more usable, to not worry about getting injured when you're moving and you have to pack up some boxes or help someone, move a couch or something a little heavy for you. You don't want to pull any kind of a muscle or a tendon, or pull out your back or anything like that. You want to have nice, strong muscles surrounding all of your organs and to support your skeletal structures. All right, so that is important as well. Okay, so if you don't exercise, then your cells will become old. They will become senile. Okay, so you want to make sure that your cells are youthful. And I talk a little bit about that in this section here. And then everyone is always talking about stem cells, Well, your body produces stem cells, but depending on, your age and or your state of fitness and health, then as you age, it will start declining. But the healthier you are, the more that you will be able to slow down that aging process. Okay, so stem cells are the cells that the body produces before they become any other type of cell in the body. So these are the ones that the body makes in order for it to keep producing, new cells all the time in all body systems. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to encourage people to go ahead and start an exercise program. You don't want to get caught by surprise with all these different challenges and not be physically ready or mentally ready for any of them. So this is my book page on my website, holisticchoices.com. The links are below. And Nutritional Synergy is the system that I developed many years ago that I've been using for just about every single health ailment, for health recovery, or for athletes to pay attention to what they're eating to fuel their muscles optimally, or just eating a very well-balanced diet to make sure you're getting the full range of nutrients in your body. And I always like to make videos to explain a little bit more about each book like I'm doing now. And I did do this before for this book, but it was on a different slant. So I'm going into a little deeper and focusing on why it's important to stay strong. So when you're strong, you're younger, and that can go on indefinitely. So eating for physical power and stamina, you'll see two pictures of every book. One is the soft cover, and one is the Kindle ebook. All right, so yeah, just know that you can do it. It doesn't matter where you are in your fitness level. Just go ahead and start because it's never too late. And if you don't, you'll keep deteriorating. You'll keep degenerating. You'll get older faster. And hey, there's no fun in that, right? You have to be youthfully, just excited about life. And the only way to do that is to be strong and have that energy, those physical reserves to handle life's challenges and stresses, handle a difficult world, all kinds of uncertainties that are going on right now in the world. So we need a stronger population. We need a stronger citizen base to build the kind of world that we want. And the only way to do that is if we are coming from the inner strength and calm that comes from being optimally fit. All right. So thanks for being here. And if you're still here, congratulations. I try not to make them too long, but sometimes I do go way over. But anyhow, I just want to thank you all for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really want to have YouTube recognize my videos so that these videos appear in front of more people who are actually looking for and interested in this kind of content that I put out. All right, so thank you so much. Much health to all of you. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.